Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Attorney General William Barr is in the hot seat today. Lawmakers are pressing him on the federal response to nationwide demonstrations against police brutality, his handling of the criminal cases of Trump advisors, and other issues. We'll take you inside the hearing next. But first, after Detroit was hit especially hard early on by the coronavirus pandemic, members of the city's teachers union are voicing their concerns about going back to school in the fall. And that does top our news this noon. Thank you for joining us as school leaders agonize over whether and how to reopen for the academic year. The Detroit Federation of Teachers have some contributions to that conversation. We do want to get to Victor Williams this noon with more on what our educators are demanding of the district so that they feel safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as of right now, the Detroit Federation of Teachers, they're demanding that they are able to go back to schools, but in a safe manner. And they're hoping that they don't go back unless it's 100% safe. Now, earlier today at right at 11 a.m., there was a presser featuring community leaders, parents, and students talking about why they don't believe going back to the physical classroom is necessarily a good thing. Now, they do have a list of demands for DPSCD Superintendent Nikolai Viti, and one of those demands is for there to be a temporary virtual classroom setting all across the board till the numbers go down, because of right now they're saying that there is a rising trend in cases once again.
But as you've seen over the past week and a half, almost 2 weeks, the cases have gone up. And so what does that tell us? That tells us right now that there are some grave concerns. We're now at stage 4 of the governor's reopening plan. It's quite possible, because of the rise in cases over the last few days and last few weeks, that we could go backwards. And so that plan has to be looked at and altered. And we want to be a part of that. At this particular moment, we believe that it's unsafe for our students and our staff to start school in the fall.
Now, lots of people were on that Zoom call voicing their opinions. We're talking about students, teachers, and even more people. But the superintendent was able to respond to that list of demands, and we'll have what he has to say coming up tonight at 5 p.m. Reporting live, Victor Williams, Local 4. Back to you.
All right, Victor, thank you. Meantime, a car caravan is making its way through Metro Detroit in protest of reopening schools in the fall. The group, calling themselves the Refuse to Return Coalition, has called for a national day of action against pandemic inaction. They're demanding that schools remain closed until counties report no new cases of COVID-19 for at least 14 days. The caravan passed by several high schools, including Renaissance High School in Detroit. The coronavirus continues to take a toll on Major League Baseball with the cancellation of 2 more games that were scheduled to be played tonight. The game in Philadelphia between the Phillies and the New York Yankees is now canceled as Phillies players are awaiting virus test results. The Phillies hosted the Miami Marlins last weekend, and new reports say that 15 of Miami's 33 players have tested positive, meaning that the Yankees would have been in the same locker room as those players. Miami's scheduled home game tonight against the Baltimore Orioles have also been canceled. We do want to get you a look at the coronavirus pandemic across the country and here at home. This afternoon, Governor Whitmer is going to be addressing the state for the first time in 2 weeks with updates on where we stand right now in the state of Michigan and also the state's response. You can watch it live at 2 o'clock right here on Local 4, and we'll stream it live on clickondetroit.com. Meanwhile, as of Monday afternoon, the state is reporting 488 new cases in a single day, with 5 more lives lost. On the national front, there are more than 4.3 million cases of the coronavirus nationally, 148,000 deaths in the United States, and that is according to a Johns Hopkins database. There's also a grim warning about the coronavirus outbreak from the nation's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
You look at the deaths as they're occurring right now, about 1,000 per day. Unless we get our arms around this and get it suppressed, we will going to have further suffering and further death.
Dr. Fauci went on to say that there are things that we can do right now in the absence of a vaccine, and it's things you've heard before. These include avoiding crowds, practicing social distancing, universal wearing of a mask, and closing bars and using proper hand hygiene. Now let's get to the other breaking news this noon. The House Judiciary Committee is holding a hearing regarding oversight of the Department of Justice. Lawmakers are expected to press Attorney General William Barr on the federal response to nationwide demonstrations against police brutality, his handling of the criminal cases of Trump advisors, and other issues. On Monday, the Justice Department released Barr's opening statement. He will go after Democrats who say that he's trying to discredit him. The AG claims that it is because of his investigation into the origins of the FBI's Russia probe. Democrats allege that Barr has committed numerous abuses. The chairman of the House Judiciary Committee harshly criticizes Barr, saying that he put the founding principles of the Justice Department, quote, more at risk than at any time in modern history.
A Department of Justice that adopts a dangerously expansive view of executive power and demonstrates a willingness to shield him from accountability represents a direct threat to the liberty and safety of the country. This failure of leadership comes at great cost. This administration has twisted the Department of Justice into a shadow of its former self, capable of serving most Americans only after it has first served those in power.
The Attorney General has a unique obligation. He holds in trust the fair and impartial administration of justice. He must ensure that there is one standard of justice that applies to everyone equally, and that criminal cases are handled even-handedly based on the law and the facts, and without regard to political or personal considerations. And I can tell you that I've handled criminal matters that have come to me for decision in this way.
The hearing continues this afternoon, and you can watch it live on clickondetroit.com. The public phase of honoring the late Congressman John Lewis continues at the nation's Capitol. As you take a look here at live pictures from the Capitol building, where the body of the civil rights icon lies in state on the Capitol steps, and citizens are gathering below in tribute. The viewing continues until 10 o'clock tonight. The body will lie in state tomorrow at the state capitol of Georgia, the state he represented, and with a private funeral planned on Thursday in Atlanta. We do want to check in with meteorologist Brandon Rue with a live look outside from our sky cam at the beautiful downtown Detroit skyline. Every time I see that view, Brandon, I always think that it just looks like a picture. It doesn't even look real, but it truly is a camera mounted over in Windsor. Just beautiful.
Yes, and whoever the artist, beautiful job with the clouds and the blue sky, and it's different every single day. I guess that's how we know it's real. Temperatures are on the comfortable side. We have 80 degrees at Metro Airport, a little southwest wind at 9. Other areas are also in that 80-degree range. We have 82 Howell, 79 in Port Huron, 82 in Monroe, 80 Harrow, Ontario, 83 in Mount Clemens. And the heat index is only a degree or less than the air temperature, just showing us it's not super muggy today, especially in comparison to what we had yesterday. But 80s for the rest of the day, mainly middle 80s. Occasionally we get a little southwest wind that's gusting 15 to 25, but that's not too bad, and winds should calm down for the game tonight. No wet weather in the forecast, Rhonda. We'll take a look at the Wednesday wet weather coming our way coming up.
All right, Brandon, we'll check in with you shortly. Meantime, coronavirus vaccines appear to be on the fast track. We're going to explore the progress being made, as well as share how you can actually be a part of the human trials right here in Metro Detroit.